And my team won. People thought my team was stacked.
Well, look what you did.
No. We had one team that went undefeated until the championship. They beat every other team,
Really?
but our second time against them, they lost.
Redemption.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hi, Julie.
Hello.
I might not turn my camera on, just FYI, but I'm here.
Hi, Will.
Will was at the Turkey Bowl. Will had a Turkey Bowl. That was fun.
We haven't seen that from the last meeting, right?
No.
Cool. Good. I just want to make sure I understand.
No,
I don't know. I was like,
Motion to approve.
yeah, I'm like sitting in the computer yesterday. I'm like, gosh, probably.
No.
But there's like, yeah, been a long period.
I like that you're all looking up here, but none of us have our cameras on.
Yeah, I mean, the only one I don't see is Ron and. Ron. I think we can start because there's only maybe 2 other people if they join at all, so. So then just a few updates from everyone and then. We have not too much new business, like there's not much to report. CHA has a contract that they sent to us. Our attorney made corrections to it, well, revisions to it. We sent it back to CHA, they got back to us today saying they'll send it to their legal people and eventually something will get signed. And then, once that's all done, we'll go through the process and we'll probably be in the new year where we'll start our initial meetings and have, you know, plan out community, you know, input and plan of action. Marty, do you want to start with updating?
Sure. We started basketball and wrestling on Monday. So we have 8 basketball teams and we have 32 kids wrestling right now. I believe we have 5 or 6 on the wait list. I just came from there. 32 kids in that room is a lot. So that's kind of where our issue lies and having more kids being able to get in there. We had 36 last year in that room. I didn't really understand until I saw it today that it is.
It's a lot of kids.
It's a lot of kids in that room. It's not very big. So far, everything seems to be going well. We did get the schedule for basketball, so we're kind of going through that. This is what that looks like. Yeah, it's a good time. Wrapped up everything in the fall. James was just talking and Will was there at Turkey Bowl.
That was a blast.
Yeah. The 23rd November, the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
We opened it up to 48 people, I think it was. I will have to say this is James. This is all James here.
I mean, you
He asked.
facilitated it.
He asked and he received. The boosters did come for concessions. I think if weather was a little bit better, that would have been great. I think there would have been more people there.
I think if we do it, when we do it again,
when,
if we advertise sooner to try to get more of the community coming out, even just as spectators.
yeah, I did see somebody, like the Dryden football team had posted something on Thanksgiving and someone's like, we should have, why don't we have a turkey bowl? And I was like, well, we did, last week.
Amelia said we should do it again in the spring, so
Oh, okay.
I think that'd be fun, nicer
It'd be
weather.
cool to get some of the football players to like officiate.
Right, you do it around Easter, maybe a rabbit.
There you go, the bunny bowl.
Bunny bowl?
But like seeing those boys playing like flag football in the snow under the lights, like they were having the time of their
Oh, there's, yeah, so fun.
lives.
I did have one or two parents who wanted to figure out how to get the much younger kids more. We had kids,
There were,
we had
you know,
people 6 to 50 on the
Yeah.
field at the same time.
Mm,
I think it would work better if there was a set captain or coach for each team who can help make sure that kids are getting enough playing time and it's not just competitive adults staying on the field against each other.
Yeah, I think the youngest one was, there was 2 7-year-olds.
Okay, because our 5-year-old dropped out.
Yeah.
There was also plenty of space, like if we had a little bit more advanced time to like mark them out, we could have played 2 games.
That's what he was
across the
saying.
field easily, like.
That was, the other thing was people were starting to get cold when they weren't playing enough, so.
Yeah.
yeah.
2 games at a time, if you have 4 teams, you can just keep it going, run the same clock for both sets.
It was a pretty gross evening. I did tell James I spoke with somebody who was there, who I know if they had a complaint or somebody had a complaint that they would tell me. They said they had a great time, so that was a success. I didn't ask anybody else. I was like, that's all I need to know right there. The same day we did the senior tackle football team, their coach got all the kids tickets to go to the Syracuse football game. So we went with them. They chartered a bus through Portland High School. So they all took the bus up. Lily and I went. It was a great time. I think there was like 50 of us from Dryden there. That was cool.
But inside, right?
Hmm?
I was inside.
Yeah, I think we had to walk, so it was fun. I think that's it. And then Leslie said, you know, the CHA thing.
See if he's moving.
Other than that, it's pretty quiet.
Football's going, wait, did football?
Huh?
How did
Football's
football go?
going.
Oh, we're not
Yeah.
talking about football anymore.
I know, I was gonna say, like, how did football go?
Football actually went well. There was nothing really major
Okay.
at all. And don't forget this weekend is the holiday celebration in Dryden. I don't know if everybody saw all the stuff happening.
No, like 3 flyers, something like that.
Yeah.
It's been well advertised.
Go check it out. Santa will be there everywhere amongst the crowd. The rec department is not really participating this year. They have to go to dance recitals all day. So
Santa's
Santa's,
planning not to have his elf room.
I was like, I did not want to tell her that you asked to be an elf. And so I finally did. She was like, she's like, I have to do this. I was like, I know. But I did sponsor the gingerbread houses to help out the Kane family. They're doing free gingerbread houses. James has pictures. James is like has it all over here. He shows me pictures. I'm like, what is that?
I checked in with Jenna before I came because she said she had pictures from the turkey bowl.
Oh,
But here
Oh, wow.
are the gingerbread houses.
so I forget.
Oh.
So they got them
Nice.
nice and set, so they'll be ready for decorating.
Yeah, where is she doing
That was
them?
good.
I didn't see that anywhere, like where they were actually gonna be.
Didn't ask all the questions.
It says a picture.
Yeah, so she'll have those and then she has like candy and everything. So basically you just come decorate them and do that.
Does the town board have anything to report? No.
Just waiting for the
Waiting for the holidays and.
contract.
Nice to be done with budget season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it what?
We're almost done with budget season.
And
Um,
we're done with the whole budget, it's just
waiting.
the fire part, you know.
Hmm.
Approved contract, contract amounts,
So I noticed on the thing Saturday that like the village had like a little event you said recreation department normally does. So I was thinking, God, the town should have something.
So I usually do something,
Okay.
I've done
We did-
s'mores
yeah.
for a couple of years. Which is fun, it's always windy. What's it, I've done other stuff. Usually just do a lot of work with Miss Diane, like help her out and stuff, and then like kind of just do a little thing there. It's more of the businesses and people in the community
Yeah.
doing things. Miss Diane is the one who really should get the credit for absolutely everything that happens. She
Yeah,
really makes.
definitely. Seems like if it happens in the village, in Montgomery Park, like she's done it.
Yes.
It's because she's did it.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the village. I'm not sure if the
And bring
village
the
is.
business owners.
Maybe
Yeah.
there's something somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
yeah. It's really just.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody has stuff, the creamery has stuff,
Yeah, they all have stuff going
Quarter
on.
Brew has stuff. So,
The
and
new
there's other things.
fiber, yeah,
And
just
the
all
library
over.
has a couple of flights of Santa reading and doing pictures.
Hmm.
Kate, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Good evening. So the county budget season has wrapped up. The legislature folks voted early to middle November. And so we're set to go for that. I think we have wrapped up all of the, if you remember, we had an OTR for the rural youth service system that was in, and it passed with unanimous approval. And I think we have worked with CCE to sort of shore up the funding that was available for all the commissions and all the municipalities. So that's good news. We are going to be launching a community conversation around youth homelessness in Tompkins County on the 17th. We've invited our local legislators, service providers, and some local funders to kick off the conversation. We currently have no place to put a youth under the age of 18 in Tompkins County. And we, 18 to 25 do have access to the shelter, but oftentimes are not really welcome there or feel safe there for a number of reasons. So hopefully that's the kickoff of several conversations that we'll be able to have, with the ultimate goal of within 6 months, hopefully making some recommendations or having some recommendations that are data driven for the legislature. As they purchased about an acre and a change worth of land on the west side to build a 100-bed shelter, we want to remind them that as we're building, if we can think about some of these other needs, we may be able to address some of the challenges that other populations in the homeless community are often overlooked, and that happens to be the 0 to 18 or 18 to 25. So that's happening. We're also going to be ramping up for 2025. We're going to be doing a Tompkins County community, it's county-wide needs assessment. We're really working with Berry and Dunn. It's the service provider that the county worked with to do their strategic plan. We know that transportation, housing, childcare are issues that hasn't changed, and so we're really trying to figure out how to optimize a set of questions that will let us dive deeper into some of the actual needs of youth and around the community, especially post-COVID with technology and those different things, anxiety and different things that were present before. But I think we need to have some of these larger conversations to really shape some of the interventions and some of the programming that we are going to be supporting at the next RFP round from our department. So lots upcoming, lots of exciting stuff. And then finally, Corsa Acomfy is our new county administrator. He is from Sahari County, and he begins, I believe, on January 6th or 7th, whatever that Monday is. So, yeah, so lots of changes.
Yeah, there's not even a shelter at all that's open right now, other than the warming center.
Yeah, so actually St. John's, obviously they left, and so we basically have the Cold Blue shelter that is the old Key Bank downtown that is open, and then I know we have a warming station at the Health and Human Services building, which is DSS where my office is located, and then I think there may be 1 or 2 other ones around town.
Yeah.
So
Athena, do you have any updates?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Program is going really well. Or Dave's program, I should say, is going really well. He has wait lists on most of his programs, which is great. And they're just going to be wrapping up in the next week or two. And then for the hours program, we have a couple of candidates. Shelly's going to be reaching out to them. And then we had a couple of candidates from the last round that didn't have the educational requirements for the previous position that we're going to reach out to see if they're still interested, because they would, I believe, be able to qualify for this current position. And then the Cornell Yours student presidents wanted to really do something, since they haven't gotten to see any of the kids since the spring. And so they got together and we reached out to the Yours families, and they put together some food and activity kits. And then on the Monday of Thanksgiving was only last week. Last week, Kyra, who's the board president, and I drove around we delivered 25 baskets to 13 different families around Dryden. And I think we went to most corners of Dryden, so it wasn't even just the mobile home communities, but we did do those as well. And we got great feedback from those families, just how appreciative. One kid even made a card with some of the paper and stuff that we had in those kits and sent it to us. So that was really great to just keep them all connected with the program while we're in transition. And so they're just waiting. They're like, when are we going to have program again? They're really excited. So that was a pretty beautiful and wonderful moment. And then we are working on our 2025 contracts. So you guys will see that. Well, Jason, you'll see that soon coming across desks for signing. So I think that's it for now.
Cool. Josh, any updates for Dryden School District?
Yeah, sure. So we're kind of mirroring what Marty said. We've transitioned from fall to winter. Sports are just starting to get underway, so we're really excited about that. And then we were able to host the district superintendent for TST BOCES on Monday, who came out to the district to tour our facilities and take a look at our programming. And she was really impressed with everything, but mostly she commented on how connected our staff was to our students and to each other, and the community that was really the sense of community that was really palpable in the district as she toured around. So that was really great to hear. And we're beginning to head into budget development. We're in pre-budget development now, and we'll really hit that after the holidays here. Start looking at our budget development for board approval in April, and then the community vote in May. So that's about it.
Yeah, so updates on everything, like we just said, was the CHA contract. Then Cornell Design Connect did not take our proposal for the Methodist Church to work it as a community center. Part of the thing that I think everyone saw that they noted was that they were worried about the historical aspect of it. So they didn't really want to dive into it. They gave us a contact person who apparently someone's wife was a member of. So you know, we could always reach out to that person if we feel like we need to, if it's a real thing. Did you hear anything back from the Methodist Church? Do we know what's going on with them?
I know that, so they had a meeting with the conference, because they were kind of like in danger of closing. And they have basically at least a year reprieve on that, so you know, but so which is good, because it's not like, well, they're gonna shut down and do something with the building, but you know, so I think gives us a window to maybe talk with them a little bit more and see if there's something that we can work out, whether the town or village or.
So is it like they're gonna revisit it in a year, or they are gonna start spending a year to like?
Well, yeah, I don't know all of the details. Beth actually talked with with their pastor, so got some details, but, you know, I think kind of look at what they can do to stay financially viable and that, you know, and see with a lot of congregations is that they're aging and Charlie Hart's leaving and so they've lost their treasurer person. So so I don't know, I think there's an opening to look at something,
See what
you know, what could potentially happen with that building as a community space. And also then maybe allow them to be able to exist.
They can still have service.
You know,
and
what
stuff.
if we can find a way to take the financial part off them of the building, then allow them to still exist.
That's what they were talking about last June.
Right.
Went and toured with. So.
Is there like historical things we have to keep in mind if we're doing any
I
renovations?
don't know if it's designated.
Yeah,
thing.
I wasn't sure, but
I'm not sure that it is.
I mean, the inside of the sanctuary spot, it has this old, like inlaid, like aluminum, I don't know, some, like it covers all the walls, it's like pretty intricate. You know?
Mhm.
You wouldn't wanna like do much in that space, I think, anyway, cause it's acoustically, it's great, like if you're gonna use it for like any of the arts or whatever, I mean, I don't think you gotta do anything to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's that.
I mean, the only thing you think about taking out, if they were not gonna need it, would be the organ system, because that thing is in need of major maintenance, and it's really old. But, and they're expensive, I mean, they're just expensive.
Yeah, I mean, because all I would think of is, you know, if we weren't renovating it much, maintenance, if it's historical also, then you get stuck having to do repairs in a certain way, so it means, right, those historical,
Yeah.
it's a pain in the butt, it's expensive.
And I don't think that it falls into the village's historical district, because that does have some.
Yeah,
I don't
know if it is.
I don't think that.
I know like the road on like Union Street, those houses are,
Right, I think it's like Union. James and Pleasant.
It's not like you wouldn't keep with the historical look of it, but you don't want to have your hands tied to it, because it's very, very annoying.
You wouldn't knock the windows out and put on neon.
Well, it's just like, you just don't have the freedom to do what you need, if it's like cost effective to replace something, they're like, no, you have to do it this or like it's.
Yeah.
It's a headache, it's such a headache. And that was my only thing too, is just like upkeep might be kind of expensive, just in general, even if it's not historical, cause. I look at those roofs and I remember when they replaced I was like, that looks very dangerous and very expensive and.
But the good news is that they
They did it.
did the roof not that long ago, so
Yes,
it's
so we
not
don't have to worry
like-
about that part. Yeah.
You know, part of that building, you know, obviously there's the older part of the building
Yeah,
that has the sanctuary and everything, but then there's also the part that's newer, so there's.
so there's like materials we can actually match it to and all that.
Yeah, and the newer part has a lot of office, a lot of spaces to do all
Like
that.
office and classroom space.
And there's already one area they already have set up as like a daycare, I mean, there's plenty of space to
do a lot.
To do a lot,
You could do
Yeah.
yoga in there and.
you could have, I mean, like, the county can bring some of the services out there and use some of the space too.
I mean, it would be useful, cause even, cause when I've taken the TCAP for Ithaca, I gotta say, a lot of it. It's people going into Ithaca for services.
Yeah.
And then they're there almost all day, cause the
Yeah, 'cause the buses.
right in,
I mean, if there were, so there's a lot, I think, that could go on,
yeah,
and like even, you know, we're, like even like lifelong. If they were giving them some money this year, or next year, so. So there's plenty of stuff that could happen there, it's just,
figuring out what to do
Figuring it out.
and what the church wants to do.
just do
and-
something, yeah.
it's
once they get
financially
permission.
feasible.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't know if they own the building or if
If the
the,
diocese
if
does.
the U of C owns the building.
Mm.
It's always been like the building that church I've been working with is has been using belongs to the Free Methodist,
Yeah,
and we're selling the building. You know, so and churches are hard to sell.
Yeah.
But this is in Portland, and the Historical Society has put a cash offer in, so I don't know what they want to do with it, but
yeah. And then you said there was the yellow barn, which you had pulled up.
yeah, so there's property in Yellow Barn. It was, how long has that Yellow Barn commercial park sign been on there? That like forever and ever and ever, like as long as
Almost a
I've been
decade.
around here. And you know, it was divided up into lots, but never, you know, nothing sold. And so I had saw a few weeks ago, Zoe Leonard, who's the realtor, had kind of done like, you know, listing tomorrow. So I reached out to Marty, and Marty reached out to Zoe, and they talked, and then Zoe and I have talked because she's probably my favorite ice cream place, which is a block from my house. So, you know, but finding out from her, like the owner is motivated to sell. They want to get out of it. It's listed at 375 at the moment. But again, they're motivated to sell, so who knows what they might be interested in, particularly if it's it was a municipal thing. But it's an 18 and a quarter acres. There is a, like, I call it a streamlet that runs through it.
It's not wet most of the time.
Right, it's not wet most of the time. But then, you know, also like even if that's there, you
It's
just
like a
you
creek
can go
or
over.
yeah,
It's not even, I mean,
like
it
it doesn't
is,
even overflow, yeah.
It doesn't even fill.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
probably seasonal.
it just,
yeah, seasonal is probably the best way to say it, yeah.
We're not gonna need wetlands reports.
Well,
No.
we would need to do it before we do anything.
You don't not need a wetlands
Yeah,
report.
we would certainly have to do something to verify that, and then make sure that, like, that there isn't like any
So there is one
buffer on
wet spot.
on the east side.
Yeah, but it doesn't,
Mean it's necessarily a wetland.
no, and so she said that Dave Sprout has also been out there.
Okay.
And he was not concerned about any of
Right.
the water anywhere.
Yeah, like no concerns of anything overflowing or flooding
Or even being,
or soils being.
or ancient flowers growing in there.
Right.
No.
Buffer swallow.
Yeah, I mean, it is not a complete
No, no.
no spot, so obviously there would have to be some creating that would have to be done. And I think, and the only like potential hurdle, I think, is the people on Scenic Way on the backside of it.
Mhm.
Those are like high dollar houses.
Yeah.
Just to see if, would there be any pushback from them about having a public park or something like right there. And I understand the concern about lights, but
There's always gonna be
there's always gonna be concern, but I think there's concern that can be relayed. I think for us, the real thing is can we find funding for it? I'm looking at Jason. Well, I guess the other hurdle is, it's not central, but it's also
It's pretty
not,
darn close.
it's pretty darn close.
I think
But as
it
we
just
talked
alleviates that
Yeah.
concern of when it's in the village, because then people on the other side of Dragon, and that's
Right.
closer to
And
it.
that's right, it's right on
And then if you
13,
can get TCAT to run more.
yeah. Well, I mean, the 43 runs, the 43 and the 40 does go through. 43 runs pretty consistently
That's
throughout
right,
the
yeah,
day, so. And I guess traffic wise, a little bit of a concern, it's right by the cemetery, and that hill just below the pain management place is notoriously bad.
Is there a way to access it, though, people turn on, instead of accessing it from 13, like turn on to Yellow Barn and then. Parking and
So,
stuff
We
there.
couldn't get people to walk down Lee Road, I'm pretty sure we're not gonna be able to go through that. Remember when Lee Road, they wanted to make the trail for Lee Way,
Yeah.
or for TC3?
And that's the thing, the only access, I think, the only way you could get access in there is
You can't
Going
access it
around.
from Yellow Barn?
you can access it, no, there's.
Cause that,
Off
yeah, I'm
Ferguson.
trying to remember exactly where it is.
It's off,
Yeah.
it's off
Yeah.
Ferguson.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Because I mean, yeah, increased traffic on 13 is always kind of a pain over there.
You know, so it's far enough away from, you know, Irish settlement here and Yellow Barn there.
Okay.
So there's no stuff. So the only like other access into it would be from the Scenic Way Scout Lane spot, which that
No,
would definitely be a no-go.
Yeah, so we would have to access.
So it really would have to be from that. But it's also, you know, there's also a way, then is there, you know, would state DOT be willing to look at something to
Yeah,
try
that's what I
and
was
mitigate the
wondering.
traffic there? Cause it, you know, it's already.
Where are we? Supposed to be like more traffic on 13 now. Anything's on.
Isn't that?
It's actually a piece of property that like I've driven by
So is it
for
over
years.
here?
and think it's
Oh, no, you need to go to 13.
a great spot.
This spot.
So water sewer
No,
out there,
no.
Huh?
is there water sewer out there, or is it easy to connect? I mean, it's right.
That's a
Passage,
good
but
question. Well,
Right.
I don't know, cause there's the Waterburn Yellow Barn Water District there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
This.
So I don't know.
I can't imagine it would be here.
Yeah, because there's no lane, there's all of this there.
So
Who would have thought we would be
I think
fields
it
or
goes
communities?
all the way down, because I think the land
I
is to
think,
make.
well,
housing
a
big,
park,
fancy.
It's a lot of acreage.
Just never.
well, it is a lot of acreage, but then like, so like an actual serious part of what we've
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah.
You know, more ball fields or bigger, you know, bigger ball fields and kind of like a little bit of what we envisioned for back here before housing started poking around.
Well, I'm gonna say it's 18 acres and it seems like really prime housing land.
And it's on a bus line and
I wouldn't be able to get my office away from that one.
but that one is when I know I know a couple of the people who live on Scott Lane, so then I just prod them and get them up in arms about housing and they'll
And they'll be
Yeah,
really
shut
okay
that
with
down.
fields.
they'll shut that
Yeah.
down.
It is
Yeah,
a
they'll be
really good
really
spot
okay
though.
with it.
so.
Yeah, no, at least there's four houses on Scout Lane that back up to that.
Yeah,
And at one point, I knew the owners of every single one, but two of those.
but yeah, not thinking of buildings or we just thinking of, I mean, I guess it's just whatever the language can do.
Right, it's whatever, you know, so yeah, it could it support a multi-use community rec center? Sure. My initial thought was really around like ball fields and like basketball parkland type of stuff.
Would the guy want to sell land to make ball fields and park stuff and then keep a section and build a facility himself?
I don't think so.
Just thinking outside the box.
No.
Outside the box things to build a community center and get housing, grants and build housing at the.
Right.
366 and 13. Mentioned something about this, this is a big farm.
The west side of 366.
It's basically right at the, you know, where the
At the
intersection.
intersection. Right.
There's this farm
Oh, yeah,
back
that's-
there, but I don't
That's
know
not
what
gonna
it
happen.
is.
That's my farmland. Get your hands off it, Jason.
That's yours?
Yes, we rent it. The lady lives in Alaska. She's very nice. We do have first rights to buy it. She wants to sell it. I send her a check every year and she sends me a Christmas card.
It doesn't seem like, I mean, it just, that like doesn't sound like a fair trade-off, but yeah, when you add in the.
Do you also rent that tiny little field on the other side? of the
Yeah.
road?
The little triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of it.
It's like the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, so I
Yeah, the
think part of it though
one
is.
swipe through and
Most
go.
money.
It's like
Yeah, I think, yeah, the big part of it is money for it.
Would you be willing to split it up though too, is the other thing?
He said he would be if the price was right to like subdivision pieces.
I think the only other thing too is like if we buy the, after we, like we talked about too, like when we're discussing the fields here. And people are gonna be like, well, you're doing that there, so why are you doing that over here? So then it's like a strategic thing of. What is it and what makes it different and what
Mind
is
your
it?
own business.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, that's how I feel a lot of the time, but yeah.
I mean, that yellow barn property is like almost exactly in the geographic center of the town.
Yeah, so like it's a
Yeah.
good spot.
Well, before, and certainly in the population center,
Yeah.
population wise there.
Yeah,
And what is actually the geographic center of,
Was it like
Of the
nice side they
town.
were talking about?
yeah,
before?
and it's like, and some of the protected land, so it's like not even.
Mm,
There, you know, so that's in the land trust that we can touch,
Yeah.
so.
I think the only other spot that was probably good was right near the Ringwood Raceway, and that area got protected.
Right.
mhm.
That one, the big flat. That would have been great for
spawn.
I
Right here.
mean, we didn't touch the raceway, but yeah, there's the
Yeah.
nice big flat space there.
Well, that's probably farm, but it's
Yeah, they do.
whoever, yeah, but that was the land trust
Right, it's protected.
Got it.
so
Got it.
got an easement on that for no development for that.
You're just killing us.
Would have been, you always get the drive-in, the old drive-in.
There was a drive-in?
Yeah, it's
There
where
was
the
the-
American farms. You can
I
get married
miss
there now.
drive-ins, although I'm from Southern
Where's the old
California, so
drive-in?
our drive-ins were awesome.
Like,
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
that where Apple Blossom Acres or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah, no, we can, you gotta drive an hour, but.
Yeah, through the Elmira
Up in
or,
Auburn?
or, no, yeah,
Or, Auburn.
Elmira. Okay. So then is there any
Yeah,
other action or exploration we're doing?
So-
I mean, it sounds like they're eager to sell, but also it's like, it's not like we have to get ahead of anything.
yeah, I mean, I think that, well, Zoe's gonna ask me, cause she asked me last week,
Yeah.
I was there. And so we have a rec meeting, we're gonna talk about it. Yeah, I think in part of it would be figuring out if there's funding, you know, if we can fund it. Well, because the rec reserve fund is pittance right now.
Well, the reserve, I mean, the problem with using reserve money is that if somebody who like doesn't like the idea, they're just gonna make us have another election over buying land like we had to do for Pinckney Road.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, like, we're developing that, and then if we go forward and we're like, oh, we're gonna buy more land. then
Yeah, but
it's-
we use the reserves for the rail trail and
Right, 'cause
not
we-
everybody was a huge fan of that.
Right,
We
well,
haven't had
because
decision either.
It's because I don't think I can.
Huh?
I don't think I can I?
Can what?
Can I petition against that stuff?
Yeah, anybody. can
All right, good to know.
Next time.
It's already gone. It will be no next time.
No, it's just, you would just appropriate money from the general fund if you're gonna do it from there, or
If we gifted it, it'd be a nice tax write-off for it.
yeah, I guess, I don't.
I'm not a tax lawyer, so
That nice?
it sounds like, yeah.
Sounds like a good idea, but I don't know.
I'm not sure there's gonna be a
It's like-
$300,000 tax.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get that, but it's just like a gift of equity.
Listen, you don't need to crush everyone's dreams here, okay?
I say I don't know. Later I'll crush dreams.
Yeah.
You just don't know. I don't do that stuff.
I mean, it seems worth exploring, but yeah, I'm just kind of wondering, like, how do you hook up the water and sewer? What will DOT allow, like, I don't know, what,
For our whole building, I mean, it's the kind of thing where if the seller doesn't need to sell it today.
we can explore options before we go forward and.
There's always like a, For the Empire State Development stuff too, because you need money for a building, if you just buy the land, it's, you know, $400,000. And a building, if you're gonna put a building on it, it's gonna be another
Yep.
at least $500,000.
Yep.
So that's this kind of stuff though, that there is money out there to help from that, but otherwise you gotta come up with a different, like another financing kind of plan, because you're not gonna.
For state development.
Yeah, like
It's on the-
we've seen them give grants for over 2 million
Yep.
for community centers.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the towns were like, but they do it.
Yeah.
CDBG money, and other times it's like some other, the CDBG grants are just a freaking annoying.
I have it here.
They're so annoying and they're making it harder.
It's making it worse. It's like
And actually, as Empire State Development, sometimes takes forever to
yeah,
get the money.
I mean,
Like you
it's
get it
basically-
awarded and then you wait forever.
yeah, they're all reimbursement grants, so we still have to.
Yeah, so then you have to show that you have the funds to front, yeah, it's,
Yeah, we have the funds to front.
yeah,
It's-
but then
it's
when does it
not-
come? Yeah, cause
But
we,
if you're gonna want to do a real construction, you gotta just do a bonding kind of thing.
Yeah.
Revenue anticipation note or something.
it's a
It's
lot,
not impossible, it's just,
no, but it's a lot.
you gotta just sell it to the community too. Who the heck?
And so their deadline is July 31st.
For what?
CSD.
For the Empire
Yeah.
Development, whatever.
Also, someone has to write the thing. Does the
It's-
town have a grant writer?
I don't know, I'm just looking
No,
at it. It's 135 pages to like review.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
Um,
insane, it's like enough ones.
But right here is the New York State Office of Parks and Recreation. They have up to 26 million.
Yeah. It's kind of competitive. I mean, you can combo it maybe with some other funding sources or whatever too, but
Yeah.
it's just whatever's available.
Yeah, it's not gonna ever be completely.
It's gonna have to be multiple things and then like some kind of loan probably, or
The
funds that you
town
guys
would-
have, yeah.
The town has to come up with.
Some of it. Usually you have to contribute certain amount.
Yeah, the town would have to contribute something, which the
Yeah.
town much, whether it's half. Like some of the others are like 20%.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever, yeah. We'd be able to do it. But
Is it a project for 2024 or is it something to, we're in 2024, I mean 2025.
yeah,
Yeah, and on the, the rec center side of it, or community center, rec center. We always have people who, will comment on that. Stuff over the years, trying to get them all together. Like, I think there's enough people who think this would be a great idea, I wish we had this. I was trying to get those people together to make it
yeah,
happen.
I mean, it's just a matter of like people understanding it's not. Free.
Right.
And when we used like in for next year's budget, like 600 and some thousand in fund balance already.
Mhm.
To buy, I mean, it went to like equipment, like one-time type purchases, but.
Yeah.
But, that's not something we can do all the time, because part of the reason, the benefit of having balance we have is we're bringing in. At the moment, like. 300,000 in interest a year, which is 300,000 we don't have to put on the property tax.
Yeah.
So if we bite into that number just goes down. But so, I mean, bottom line, like if you get enough people who want to do it, they're willing to pay an extra couple cents on their tax bill, then it'll happen. I mean, if they're gonna come and get pissed off because we raise the money partially through property tax for it.
Yeah.
You know, this, I don't need someone showing up, saying we want this and then getting pissed off because the tax bill goes up by $5.
Oh, well, that's gonna happen anyway, so.
I mean, it really doesn't
As long
matter.
as it's not someone who's asking us to do it, then.
Oh, no,
That's
that's
what I'm
right.
talking about. It's like when someone would come in and complain about a cell tower and they're sitting on their cell phone in the middle of the meeting, reading off all their stuff. I'm like, really?
Well, you need cell tower, don't you?
It's like,
Yeah.
come on.
I mean, you know, the other part of it too, just to bring up like one other agenda item that I said I would bring up was just, we did get the email from the one community member who was asking about like ideas for a pool and all that, which I feel like we probably don't really want to manage and take care of, but there is money for that too, and part of it is building one, so.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a center like that, that's probably where you'd have it.
And so you could combo it if that money is still available next year. It's just as involved as ESD to do, so you, yeah. You also need someone to do that.
Marty gets a little tick in her eye.
Marty does not have to manage the pool.
I mean,
I think,
what people reach out for though is like, they're thinking pool, they're talking about outdoor, you know, like for the summer. And it's such a limited use type of thing. Like, I think an indoor pool would be great because.
Yeah, I'm thinking indoor, I don't really wanna
TC3 has
deal
a
with
pool up there,
outdoor.
but the availability stinks.
Yeah,
And,
no, it doesn't really feel like, you know, they're just kind of lending it to us, it's like you could kind of come sometimes.
Having a retractable roof.
There you go. That's-
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, you know, if we had a building that had some,
Yeah.
had a pool and had some turf space and had some
Yeah.
court space and, you know, could alleviate some of the pressure on the school district, on their buildings and, you know, so, yeah. And I think, and I don't necessarily think that doing the project here completely takes off doing other park project. Well, one.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't, it's just more of like, yeah, well, how supportive will you
Especially
be of
now
it
that,
if
but
you do
now
it
that
at the
we're
same time, kind of.
really
Yeah, but
scaling
they're
this
different
back.
things, like if you're
Yeah.
just
Right,
talking
it's
about
different.
fields here with.
And then community center
It's
there,
like a-
yeah.
Right, but if you, but community center and, you know, rectangle fields and
Mhm.
ball fields up
Yeah,
there.
it's different.
You know, like then it's slightly more expensive and this can still be more practice, Saturday morning soccer, like
Mhm.
type of things.
Yes.
And so, you know, like I said before, like I'd love to see one big park in the town and then some smaller.
Yeah.
You know, town-owned parks around closer to the municipalities, so
functional.
functional, yes, yeah, not what currently exists in some of these places, but. Like. This is the Etna one. No,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a park. It's open, it's green,
It's dangerous.
yeah, you can.
We'll
If
do
you
tetanus.
wanna check to see if your tetanus is up to date, go play in the playground.
Yeah,
The little one or the old one still.
it's still up there. Like I offered years ago to like clean it up and like maybe put some new stuff in there. Highway was gonna come in and take like the broken everything out. And they're like, no, we're good.
They love their tetanus.
Yes. It's just, it has like really old metal stuff in there. It's like broken, and then the playground is old wood with nails poking. I would go in there and just hammer the nails back in before we'd have soccer practice, just to make sure like
There's no incident, yeah.
it's tough. I mean, the one at the in Dryden Lake is like that though too. I mean,
Yep.
that one is not user friendly.
Should just get replaced.
Yeah, I think that's probably something for next year that we really need to like,
Yeah.
put on our.
I mean, so do you,
Find somebody.
I mean, do you wanna see, feel out with Zoe like as to
Yeah, I can kinda-
what the, I mean, is it an idea to even just see if they would do an agreement or something like that, even for like right of first refusal or something, like, I don't know, so we could explore it and have the option, or is that not a thing that we would do? I don't know.
Talk about it.
For the land, if
Mm.
we really wanted to see about the possibility of purchasing it. Or, yeah, or even put a placeholder in there so we can, to give us an opportunity to explore that thing.
Yeah,
I mean, why- if they're even asking for, like, if they were, like I said, if they're not in a rush.
Yeah, then
And,
then
you
we
know,
don't
they're
have to
not-
do anything too actionable.
They're not like splitting, like, he doesn't own it with somebody else, do they?
Oh,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's just
As long as it's
one
not like-
person owns the whole thing.
If it's just him owning it, then
Yeah.
there's no other party to worry about for forcing the sale.
Yeah,
But if they'll let you explore it, then.
yeah. I mean, what would we need to do to have it be seen as a viable land, like, to the board to say, like, it has these
Some
things?
kind of
and-
plan about what would go there, so you know what it's total amount you're spending. If the land part is
Isn't-
buying it,
yeah.
if it's like, you're not gonna just buy it and then sit on it for 10 years. and do
Exactly.
nothing with it. Or, you know, it's like. Yeah. So when you donate or whatever, I mean, you gotta. Have that whole business side.
Yeah, that's why it works. Yeah.
Not. You don't have to have everything drawn out or whatever,
No.
but it's just like, this is what, you know, this,
This is the concept
what we,
they have.
this is why we wanna buy it and what we wanna put, see the town put there. So that'll give you an idea about how much it's gonna cost. 'Cause like you're talking like a building and pool, whatever else, some fields. It just looks so small when I look at it on Google now.
Very good, you know,
Yeah, I know, like, but
no space.
it's,
See where the houses are, I'm like, that's not that much room. What's it look like?
Getting that, it's definitely in space.
It's how many acres?
it's
18 and a quarter.
18.24, yeah. I know, and I'm very spatial and stuff, but with measuring distances and like that, I have trouble with. So. That was kind of like,
Understand
I
what
went
you're
and like figured out how much space does Lansing have in like their one town park with the ball fields and stuff, and it's like 14 acres, so.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's doable thing.
But they don't have like a building.
They don't have a building. I
It's
mean,
just
they
a couple
have,
of soccer
yeah.
balls and.
They have a couple of softball fields and a baseball and like a little league baseball field. But you know, so-
Yeah, what do you think?
I like it.
Yeah. How do we get about putting together a plan of what we wanna put on there?
Yeah, for the moment, I'll just be saying, so like, this is what we found, it's available. That's what we think should go there. Cause you would need to figure it out in more detail for beginning grant applications.
Yeah,
But,
but to start the conversation with the board.
yeah, I mean, you can even pull stuff from old things, it's they're just kind of cookie cutters.
oh yeah, I mean,
Like that really old plan that.
Oh, yeah.
That old one that we have back here, I mean, you could probably,
Oh, you could,
yeah,
and it pretty much would fit.
Building wise, I think you could mirror something at the church. over here.
yeah, there's enough space there to put. You know, a multi-use building that could have community center space. A pool, court and some turf space, like maybe not a full size. Soccer.
I mean,
field.
it sounds like it's almost like a YMCA-ish type
Yes.
thing you're talking about, which has. It's basically a community center where there's an indoor pool. And then there's space outside where they hold their
Yeah.
camps and they just don't have goals and stuff set up, but. That's kind of what it sounds like you're talking about building. But it's sort of sound like if you're gonna have a community, if you have a community
if
center
we want one,
building
that's what we would.
with a
need,
pool. That's what the YMCA building is.
Oh, yeah,
They-
yeah,
they just
yeah.
That's
have-
immediately what I thought.
Well, yeah, I'm
Oh,
thinking that too, but
We'll have a
like-
non-YMCA than MCA.
Yeah, cause they have meeting rooms, there's like spaces there that people can use for party, birthday parties, whatever.
YMCA is neat.
Weight rooms and whatever. And people,
The YWC. So
That's true.
so, that's definitely enough room for something like that.
Yeah,
So, because, but you're gonna have part of that land is gonna take up by parking. And parking-
yeah, I mean, and then, yeah, it just has me go back to like DOT and just overall traffic, like,
Yeah.
is there any, yeah, I mean, are there any red flags that go up with that, or do we need to like ask Rick or something like that, like what that will look like? No,
They just do a thing and tell you how,
like how much
to
is set
get in
back?
and out, basically, like, are they gonna have you have a single driveway in and out, or are they gonna make you do two?
Okay,
That's all they're gonna care about, and it's just about measuring. And I mean, you probably have the parking up in the front anyway, so.
Yep.
It's not gonna be that big of a deal,
Well, yeah, I think, yeah.
and put a bus stop there, you know,
yeah.
if there's not a bus stop, you'd be able to have a.
That's what I would think, so it could easily,
So that it would,
yeah,
but if you propose something like that, maybe they'd be more. Favorable or something, you know? They're not gonna say no, it's just, there's, just because we're the cemetery, their two driveways are great.
mm-hmm,
You just, whoever designs it will figure that out.
so,
Well, I'll start a list of things there, and I'll talk with Zoe a little bit.
yeah, I get some information,
If
right?
she has an idea of, when she says they're motivated, like this. How motivated are they? Do they have a,
I guess it
do
listed.
they have a time? Huh?
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
not listed for,
Well,
she just listed it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
because it hasn't been listed, right? It was.
It just had like the sign that was available for development.
Right,
and then overlay
and
required.
so it's only been listed now. It's on here somewhere.
I thought the one site I went to.
20 days.
Okay.
So yeah, so less than a month, but it's been, the commercial, the original idea for like the commercial park, that's gotta be 20 years. At least, I'm trying to think, so. And, never, like I said, they divided it and nobody bought it. And so they developed it. Nobody bought spaces, so that what they do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Originally 12
Is it-
things, and the central one that I think that they set up as to be like a road.
Did they actually subdivide the parcel, or is it one?
It's
all
subdivided,
different types of
it
parcels?
is subdivided right now, but they're trying
Okay.
to sell it all as one person.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that's ever been purchased out of that is I think where the pain management place is. That building
Yeah,
right there, I think they bought one section and that's it. So,
Okay,
yeah, then I can talk to Zoe and I can make a list of, like, here's some, basically, an idea, like, here's what we'd like to do with it. So,
Mhm.
let's see, I think we can multiple use things and.
okay, and then. Jason, do we just present to the board, or do you just discuss it with them, or do we have to come
Just probably present it to the board.
like a solid proposal of, we
Yeah.
would like to purchase this and do X, Y, Z? Okay,
Yeah, because if we say, yeah, then we're gonna wanna hire a grant writer anyway, so we can get if anything.
Okay.
I don't know if everybody knows Christina, but this is Christina.
Oh,
She,
I'm saying that,
Sorry.
we probably should have done.
she's on the
Introductions.
town board.
Sorry, today, I'm sorry.
So I just wanted to let everybody know who Christina is.
Yeah, it's the other. Depending on how quickly we try and do this, the only other big, other than fiber stuff, but. The near the we have this sidewalk tap grant, we gotta sink like $400,000 into. For where the stuff near.
Is that like the
Ezra
town
Village.
portion or something, or, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just have to figure out
That's
cash
not-
planning too.
That's like 2026.
That should just be done in general. you know,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. like-
Yeah, but it's like, that's another, like, if we have to, we're gonna have to decide, are we gonna borrow for it, and that's all, or just drop the money. Which that would be, the same price as buying this.
Yeah.
We have to be, we have to put in for that since the grant was awarded.
Okay.
So that would be. It's. Lots of. Stuff.
So I guess if you want to talk to Zoe, if we can try to put together a solid plan, then I think we would probably just vote as DRYC. Guess is that actually to then provide a proposal to the
This is what, yeah.
board, like something,
Yeah,
so for like in next year. to
and then
do.
just expect, the usual Martha Robinson bullshit about it, so.
It's a good housing spot. I'm not gonna argue with her on that, I'm sorry.
Every time a rec thing gets proposed, she always gets. That's just gonna happen.
You know, which I don't understand, because quality of life is part of residential.
So when, well, yeah, so when a community member, who's also my neighbor, but when she was talking to us about a pool in Dryden, and she sent us a link to the grant for it, and I was looking at it. On the documentation that's on there, it shows you needs for like different counties and areas and what it needs for like pools, and Tompkins County did rate, I forget what the number was, but it did rate in where it was like, there is a need for pools in the county.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's something that you need to work with the county for also, or would this be a kind of Dryden project, I don't know how that works, so.
County might give money.
Right,
for it.
That's what I'm saying, like, I'm just wondering.
They might, like, they have small grants, but they're not, like, the amount of money the county would potentially give, this would be like the kind of thing that might pay for the pool. Like
Yeah.
digging of it, kind of thing, because, that's. I know when Ellis Hollow had to just renovate there, I don't even know if they ever did it, but it's years ago, they priced just the renovation of it was 50,000.
They're expensive.
That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
So I think like just even digging one out and whatever, depending on how big you're talking about is.
yeah. Well, and the annual
Probably be like
maintenance, so it's like, I'm not
75.
sure how viable the idea really is, but I mean, it is one thing I did notice looking at those stuff, was just saying that Tompkins County in general is actually one of the communities that are in need for
Yeah.
that particular service.
So if you talk to anybody
Yeah. there's no-
who has a pool, any town.
They're
person,
awful.
Yeah, they have the same look I have.
Yeah.
When they have it,
They're
'cause you're
awful
like,
to
oh,
maintain.
how's your pool? And they're like, "Mm." It's just, and I understand that there is a need and people like them, but if you're gonna, I like the idea of having an indoor one if you had one. Just because it would get more use.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, people I know that have bought
Yeah.
houses because there was a pool there, they're so excited, they regret it like. the first year.
I have a pool.
Yeah, it's the
I
worst.
just closed it yesterday. I didn't, I watched my husband take the ice with heater outside because I was lazy.
It's like having a boat.
It-
Seems like a great idea to have one.
I love it, but
It's great when you sell that
No,
boat.
you want a friend with a pool or a friend with a boat.
Exactly.
correct. I am
That's
that
why,
person.
that's why people are
Right.
interested in having us have a pool, because then
Right.
they can
Yeah.
come over and use it.
Well, it is the type of thing that's better if it's municipally. owned.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and they're-
But that was my, and actually, that was really just my other thing too, Tompkins County in general is in need, can we just shove off that part onto them? The project?
But they just cut their budget,
I know.
they're not. gonna-
They're like, no, excuse
I
you.
mean, the ones that, we have, that the county, I think even throws money at is GIAC.
Yep.
We maybe the one at Cass Park.
Yeah.
The city,
Yeah.
that's really the city.
Yeah.
But there's always been like a huge want for people like swim lessons, and I know there used to be the dart at the school that I forget what the swimming
There's swim
team they yeah.
Swim club thing.
I mean, I definitely put it at the bottom of the priority for whatever we do with this land,
If you
but
have the
it's,
room for it.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and if we can figure out a way to do the maintenance and not have Marty even know it exists in the process.
Yeah,
So have to have like rec swimming, it'd be a swim team, swim.
Well, I think I mean
She would want to use it.
I mean, yeah,
Right.
it'd be really great.
No one.
She wants,
people would probably, have a built-in population of people who are insane are hockey folks. If you were able to build something that could be converted to a hockey rink.
rink.
Actually, yeah,
Hockey
Then
rink
the
slash
hockey where-
pool.
I don't know how you would do.
I don't know how you
that.
do that, but that sounds awesome.
But I mean, the people, like, because they're looking at ice time,
Mhm.
there's not enough.
Yeah, it's the same thing with,
Yeah.
it's the same thing with turf and,
Turf.
and
Yeah,
that, like the time, I know.
'Cause
I
you know,
still have
Kids who have
rent,
practice at midnight in Homer because.
I have kids
that's
right
what
now
it's-
practicing basketball, 5th graders.
Yeah.
And 6th graders
Yeah,
right
you
now
wanna pick up-
yeah, we need a
for
basketball
another half an hour.
court
Yeah, I
and
mean,
we
that's,
really
those are
need
the
that.
things, but there's a lot of.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, how's he like that?
Cool, like, so, I don't know if you
You
can
like
build
Mikey?
pools that they just put a cover
He's a
on
good guy.
and it turns into a.
I'm curious if that's
If
possible.
you're not, you wouldn't do that with an indoor pool anyway, if you use it, you would run it out year round.
But yeah, but you could do it, yeah, if you're saying if it's for the summer and then in the winter have it.
Yeah, some stuff like that, that's just like one thing, cause you.
Cass's
because
pool
you
is just
can get-
closed. They have a hockey rink inside, yeah,
But what is that in the summer?
the hockey rink.
Is that-
Nothing,
Nothing.
closed.
The one in Lansing, I think it,
No.
Well, the Casper.
Casper.
Rink.
oh,
Is that the road?
It's not a roller
I
rink
think
during
they-
the summer?
I think they're
so.
going, I think they do some stuff on it. I don't know. At one point they were doing.
they used to do
roller
roller
derby.
derby over there.
Yeah, roller rink, and then you just put a thin layer of
Roller
ice on
derby's
there.
looking for a place like Alvin's Riding to actually do
Okay.
practice.
Oh, really?
They can't get anywhere to play or do things anymore.
Oh, wow.
Like,
They used to, Montgomery Park, they used to flood the old basketball court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is the damage to the court that happens from
Right.
you're freezing.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that's multi-use would be.
Inability to count on it being cold enough for winter.
That's the other problem.
So Homer set one up last year in their green area. It was a disaster weather-wise, people not staying off it. This is coming from the Homer rec director who was telling me about it. It was not fun, apparently.
Yeah, and there's
Um,
there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. They tried, it just,
I am all for Mike Murphy flooding something in Montgomery Park and putting up an ice rink and not us.
Just gonna go to the Virgil Creek Dam with a sledgehammer.
My town just had a random one that was just right outside the train station, and it's just where it was, there's the highway and parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you figure out, I mean, it's the kind of thing where you're gonna have to go through some rainstorm. Like the way people are gonna- We have a big youth meeting. Throw stuff up, but I mean, a building that's a center that's got spaces for things like.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Yoga,
totally leave it up for
basketball,
interpretation of just like,
whatever.
let's put a building
But then
there
you
and
gotta
see
figure out
what
what
we
you
can
want.
actually
You want
maintain
to
and
fit in.
put in there, right?
And I have this-
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have ideas and part of me wants to just go based off of also honestly
hoping to get fired before then.
what people, enroll in with sports.
No one's gonna let you have that.
You gotta find a replacement.
No joy for you.
I was not happy the last time you worked in that position.
Sorry.
My kids are around for 6 more years, 7 more years, and then we're good.
Your kids are done this year. This is Amelia's last year.
They're still in the community.
He's like, I'm still using you.
My kids need to go assist with those things.
Yeah.
Like Jackson, my son is assisting the 5th grade
Yeah.
basketball because he
Yeah.
didn't make the 7th grade team.
Size building.
Oh, what?
So is there- yeah, I mean, it's cool.
Like
I
this
hooked him
gym.
up.
It's a really good
There's a
building
basket
and
gym and then
But you know, I've not used it since I moved out of Ithaca. I mean, I'm not going there with my kid.
It is roller skating at the cast.
Yeah, in the summer.
It is roller skating, yeah.
In the summer.
Yeah.
What if we could put a competing go-kart track in there and turn that into an ice rink?
They used to.
There you go.
Could you just have the go-kart track on the outside of the property?
That would be
Oh,
cool.
And you had
yeah.
it year round, and you just put chains on in the winter.
Yeah, and we're always racing, so when you try to go in the building, you have a bunch of cars.
The whole thing.
Awesome.
I think we can end the meeting now.
It's really come off the rails.
Bye, Athena.
Cake and Athena,
Bye,
you
guys. See you in, next year.
Bye, everybody.
Yep, happy holidays.